Are we back? Are we live?
We are back.
All right. Back with Matt, back in black. We're back. In case you were wondering. Did we get that
Ready
up
to go?
real
Yeah,
quick?
I'm getting it up real quick.
Get to
You're gonna have to call.
yeah.
Shh, don't tell them what's for. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, I could definitely.
All right.
So yeah, I
start
just
off.
want to So our next segment is going to be our Osterlocks of the week. So Jack and I we're getting hot. We're getting hot. We're a
You guys are
combined
hot.
4-0. Jack picked the Jets last week. He had them plus 1.5, and he even said the money line against the Redskins, and they covered that with ease. Came a little bit to my surprise because I hate the Jets, but they did it.
The Redskins are terrible.
Yeah, the Redskins are terrible, and we're talking about Jack Johnson, Wales, Osterlock. He knows his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Pats minus 3.5. Later in the week, it went to 4.5. Some people came up to me. They said, "You keeping your prediction the same, Mike?" I said, "Is the sun going to rise tomorrow morning?" I said, "Yeah, I'm keeping it the same. Lock it in." And what they do, 3.5, 4.5, don't matter. Tom Brady's coming into town. He's beating your team. Didn't matter if he was in Philly. He was still winning that ball game. Okay? So now I moved to 2-0. And then I want you to discuss yours now.
First off, I'm 1-1, so I don't like
It's healthy.
excluding me from
No,
the
that's
show.
a healthy. No, I wanted you to talk about because Jack
I'm
can't
gonna
defend
talk about it.
himself.
I'm gonna talk about it, but also, 5-1 is still a pretty good record for the show.
That's a
Definitely.
phenomenal record for the show.
But if you looked at the game I picked, does not look good for me because I picked the Texans. I forget what the line was. Doesn't matter. Over the Ravens, and the Ravens absolutely destroyed them. They beat them to the pulp. I underestimated Lamar Jackson. That's my fault. Won't be happening again.
I think you overestimated who else, though, Deshaun Watson.
I don't think I overestimated him. That was a tough.
I think a lot of people
game.
thought he was going to, keep it close, though, and that's exactly what he didn't do. He's a great quarterback.
You can't put it all on him.
No, I'm not, because for the defense to give up 41 points, something had to go wrong.
Also, did you see, though, that pass interference call that they take away?
No.
It was on Hopkins, and it was, so blatant, and they didn't see it. So then the team did this new thing where you challenge the PI call and be like, we think that's a PI call. And it was so clearly a pass interference, and they just go, nope, don't see it because they don't want to correct themselves.
I saw that on ESPN, yes.
They only corrected themselves once throughout the whole season. But that changes. That changed everything since they did that.
I think a lot of people have had a problem with the way the people in New York are viewing some of these things.
Oh, my. It's terrible.
It's not even the refs who are deciding it at this point. It's people in New York who are watching the clips, and they're making the final decision. But, there's definitely, there's been some no-brain calls, but... So
Dusty says Lamar equal MVP.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
You think so? I'd be willing to. You want to make a little...
Okay.
I'll take...
It's going to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's always a quarterback.
I'll take Russell Wilson. There I go. After I said I won't underestimate him again. I'm doing it again. I'll take Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's an absolute beast.
All right. Well, if I can't take Russell, because I agree with you. I think he's going to be the MVP. But if that's not him, I like Lamar Jackson. I'm going to agree with Dusty right then and there. He's clearly, if it's a 1A, 1B type situation, he's the B, but he's just like a hair below. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a hair. I think
he is very good.
I think he's
and even what he's doing with this team is they're 8-2 right now. Okay. Yeah. They're clearly going to make a push in the playoffs. They're going to be a team to be reckoned with. Obviously the AFC is not easy, but he's hot. Yeah. And when you're hot, you keep riding it. So nothing 100%. Would surprise me with him.
Honestly, I think McCaffrey does deserve it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
He's not going to get the nod just because he's running back, and
I think
only quarterbacks win awards.
You know what I saw, though, too? I don't know what it was that I saw, to be honest, but I'm on ESPN, and it's saying non-quarterback MVP projections. So immediately I'm thinking Christian McCaffrey. You know who I see at the top of the list?
Who?
TJ Watt from the Pittsburgh Steelers, JJ Watt's brother.
That doesn't make any sense.
He's having an incredible year.
Is he? I didn't even. You don't hear about defensive players.
You don't.
I wish.
I'm not even gonna look it up because it's gonna take some time. It's not worth it. But supposedly he's up there for defensive players at the very least, defensive player of the year candidate.
I wish defensive players could do that.
That's crazy what that family's producing.
Yeah, they're studs.
What?
You want to go to next week Oslocks?
Yes.
So we're starting off Oslocks 5-1. You might want to start listening to us.
We've been telling you we're gonna start charging for these picks. Take them while they're hot. Take them while they're free. Take them while they're fresh. Come on. I'm going to call up our analyst, our 2 guys, 1 studio analyst.
He didn't call in last week. We read it out, but our analyst is back in the studio, ready to go and ready to tell you how to just get the money.
How to get that money. We're going to FaceTime him because the service in here is
yeah, the service in here is too good.
It's rough.
Tim goes, is Bama done without Tua?
Jack John.
How you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking.
I'm not sure if you heard us.
Show Jack to the.
Yeah, we got Jack John right here. Anyone who wants to see, can't really see.
Uh-huh.
Jack John, I'm not sure if you heard. We were just going over how hot we are, you and I. 4-0. Monty's 1-1, still doing well. 5-1 collectively.
5-1 collective. You got to start charging, man. We got to start putting money down.
We need to start charging.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going on a little rant about that.
We're lucky because we're not charging yet.
So what do you think, Jack? Are we going to continue with this hot streak? Are you going to go 3-0?
I love the late this weekend, especially my Osterlock. I love my Osterlock.
Spit it, Jack. Spit it.
Come on.
I got Buffalo -4 at home against the Denver Broncos.
Buffalo -4 at home against the Denver Broncos.
Cheers. And
nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
No one circles the wagons.
Coming back home after a road win. Boys are kind of buzzing. They're going to run the ball down Denver's throat. Expect them to win by 10+. If they got an alternate line, it's something like +250, +300. Hammer that as well.
Oh,
wow.
Jack is giving
Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank.
Jack is saying
in Buffalo, the real New York team is going to win this week. That's what Jack John's coming with.
Yeah, they're going to go to
8-3, moving it, doing it a new era field. I love it, Jack.
Yes, sir.
Jack, let's hope for a winner this week. You know, let's do it.
I expect the winner. I don't hope. I expect.
Jack, we'll talk to you soon.
Jack, I hope you can move to.
Be good, bud. Peace. Remarkable. Every time I get off the phone with that kid, it's just
a jolt of energy.
Literally,
Yeah.
I feel like I just took a shot of espresso. I want to put that in right now, but I can't. I can't.
You want to give your lock?
Yeah, I'll give my Osterlock of the week.
I need to check my game after because I forgot the line.
I'll give my Osterlock of the week.
I forgot my line and I'm on the FaceTime, but
so do you want me to tell you what your line is?
all right, you want me to just go quick while you have it up and I'll say my line?
Yeah, go with
All
it.
right.
So you got them
Yeah. I got the Raiders over the Jets. Jets
2.5.
fans think they're gonna run the table.
-2.5 for the Raiders.
Minus
on the road.
2.5.
They're on the road and the Jets are at home. You know?
-2.5. I think that's a lock for the Raiders. They're actually a very good team. I think they're gonna blow out the Jets. They have a lot of young talent.
They're hot.
They're hot. Gruden surprisingly is actually a good coach. I'll say it.
They're
in my
6-4.
opinion.
They're
Yeah.
right in there.
They're right in there. They were right under the Chiefs.
Yeah,
They're right under the
They
Chiefs.
are right. They're a
nose.
game under the Chiefs.
Yeah. So Raiders kind of disrespect should be more over against the Jets and cry Jets fans.
My Osterlock of the week. I love this one. I picked against the Birds last week, the Philly Eagles, and I'm going to pick against them again.
Ooh.
I don't care if they're at home again. I don't care who's behind center. I don't care who the head coach is. They're losing. Okay? Look at this line that I'm picking up here. I feel like I just found buried treasure. Okay? I can't believe it. I read it off to you before. You were shocked too. -1.5 the Phillies are. So if you think I'm taking the Phillies, you got another
Eagles?
thing coming. Yeah, the Eagles.
You said Phillies.
No, Philly. I'm saying if you think I'm taking
Yeah.
Philly, I'm taking the Seahawks +1.5 on the road. That line
Boom.
is egregious. That's ridiculous. This is the lock of the year, guys. Take it right now. This is my mortal lock. This is my mortal Osterlock right here. They're gonna destroy them.
Oh yeah.
I really don't even think this is gonna be a ball game.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't know if you
I
probably
don't
agree
think
with
it's
me.
gonna be a ball game either. I know Philly's a hard place to come in and play, but Russell Wilson, the Seahawks, they play in their stadium 12th man yelling. I mean, I know it's different when they're supporting you, not supporting you. It
but you
doesn't
know what?
matter.
It doesn't matter. You got the
They're professionals.
potential MVP behind center. He's leading the drive. I don't think it's going to be close. And on top of it, they're the dogs. They're the underdogs.
Pete
the
Carroll,
Seahawks,
great
so,
coach.
yeah, even if you want to buy a point and a half, if you really are getting crazy and you're nervous, which you shouldn't be, to make it an even 3, still +3, yeah.
I have a funny
Hammer
one.
him.
We have an Eagles fan in the chat, Kevin Jacoby.
Oh, man.
Goes, He just joined when you're talking about your line too. I don't think he heard any of the rest of them. He goes, "You're going to be utterly disappointed."
I'm gonna be.
You just ruined his day because you gave your mortal lock, so it's bye birds.
Yeah, no, that's
not the good ones.
I cannot be more confident in a pick than I am with that. I know I'm gonna be 3-0 after this week, so I would hammer that, boys. Don't hammer it, Kev, but yeah. The rest of you non-Eagles fans. I want to talk a little bit more about sports now. Okay. I think there's some stuff that's been happening. Let's talk about Colin Kaepernick right off rip.
Okay.
So he had his workout. I think 8 to 9 teams showed up.
Yeah, well, do you hear? There's supposed to be 22. And
I heard
he made a request that I'm not sure if he wanted media or didn't want media. Do you know what?
I don't know what it was.
It's either.
But I read that it was supposed to be 20, and I saw 9.
He either he didn't want the media or he wanted the media, but he had a disagreement with the NFL a little bit, and so they went to a high school field in Atlanta, and he worked out for like 8 of the 22.
Did you see any of the videos?
I saw one video of him throwing the ball deep,
airing it out
at least 100 times. Like the one video.
I think a lot of people are hyping up the clips a little bit.
The clips. I only saw one clip.
That's what I'm saying too. But everyone, it's all over SportsCenter, ESPN, anywhere on like Instagram where you're following sports, you're gonna see that clip. I don't know. I guess I'm pulling for him to an extent. I'm just going based on football skill right now. Like we had this discussion already. I like him as a player. I think that he's a lot better than some other backups and starting quarterbacks on certain teams in the NFL. So I think that he should be given a chance. They said his arm looks just as good as when he came out of college. So,
you know what my thing is too, from a football standpoint, is you kind of see it happen to Le'Veon, and it's one thing for a running back. When a quarterback is out of the league for that long, you forget how the game works. You lose kind of like your football IQ, and that's just not going to work in the NFL.
Yeah, no,
you can't just sit out that much time. Everyone else is playing their whole life constantly in the mindset, constantly going through everything, have this football mindset.
So I agree with that. But to an extent, because let's just say another player like that, Melvin Gordon, held out the first 5-6 weeks.
So different.
And now, why? He didn't get he held out. No, I'm comparing him to Le'Veon right now.
Oh.
2 guys who didn't get their contracts, okay? They didn't get the contract, so they held out until they got their contracts. So Melvin Gordon didn't even get a contract, came back after 6 weeks, and now you got Austin Eckler basically playing this equivalent amount of time as him. The only reason why I don't want to compare Colin Kaepernick to those 2 guys is because those 2 guys purposely held out of football because they didn't get the money they wanted.
Yeah,
and
they had a very fair reason. They didn't do anything wrong.
No, I agree. Yeah, but we can't say Colin Kaepernick did something wrong either. We can't.
Yeah, he didn't do anything wrong, but they didn't do anything like.
But what I'm trying to say now is that Colin Kaepernick was like held out of the league against his will. I'm saying, like, if he had the option to play, he would have been playing. He's just nobody wanted him. Le'Veon Bell and Melvin Gordon. Well, yeah, but Le'Veon did the same thing, bro, and that's why he was out of Pittsburgh right then and there. But they wanted him back after, which is that's the best part about it. But they just but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's true. I completely agree with you.
But I agree 100%. Yeah, if you're out of the game that long, it's so much harder to come back and get back in the rhythm like that, and you're not dealing with anything like it. You can't really prepare for something like that unless you're in an actual game time experience.
No, not at all.
That's why, and this brings us to a good segment, actually. So the next thing I want to talk about, Tua. So Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback.
Tim asked about this before.
Yeah, so this is a good way of addressing this. Quarterback for Bama. They're up, I believe, 35-7 with 2.5 minutes left in the first half, okay? Typically, you're up by that much. Tua I think he was questionable to start the last 2 games. So he's been dealing with injuries, like I think an ankle. Mm-hmm. Gets injured when Nick Saban said that the whole point of it was for them to do the 2-minute drills and to get that in-game experience, because he says you can't get that anywhere else. And he's right.
Yeah.
A 2-minute drill, you want the real deal 2-minute drill, you got to do it in a game. Perfect time for them to do it. They had the ball. They're up big. Time to experiment. What is your take? Should he have even been in the game at that point when they're blowing out an opponent by the amount they were, and it's a nobody team too? On top of it, it's not even a close rival anything. The game didn't have any implications.
I know there's no implications in that, but I would have left him in because taking him out before the first half.
That's what I was thinking too.
It's not even the half yet. It's like let him play for most of it so he gets the time in, so he gets to experience it.
And I feel like you have Trevor Lawrence playing 3-4 quarters when they're blowing out teams. Like, no coach goes into a game expecting their quarterback to get injured, obviously.
Yeah. And it wasn't even the same injury. Like, it's not like he hurt his ankle. It was his hip.
Totally not related.
It's just a freak accident. You can't really blame Nick Saban for it. do you think Tim asked? Do you think Bama's done now without Tua?
So that's where I'm undecided. I think we're gonna have to at least watch one game with the guy Matt Adams. I think that's who they're bringing in as their backup now.
Yeah.
But realistically, one thing you can't take away from Bama, their defense is unbelievable.
It always is.
It always is. And
NFL
I don't know, if they keep winning games, you can't keep them out, regardless of who's behind center. But like that's what it's going to decide. I don't know what the rest of their schedule is like.
Also, I'm not going to say Tua was holding them back, but they have one of the best like receiving core, like that I've ever seen in college football.
Yeah, no, they always have
like
good.
Jerry Jeudy and them. They are just tremendous. So it's like I feel like you could have anyone throwing them the ball. It's kind of like I don't really know who to compare to in the NFL.
I see what you're saying.
But like it's kind of like hard for someone to not come in with that good of a team, where it is the most important position. But Alabama has won national championships with some pretty bad quarterbacks.
Oh yeah,
AJ
no, and in
McCarron.
college, that's where you could get away with it. You
Yeah.
don't even really need someone to throw the ball. You'll see guys just running the ball for like 200 yards. Quarterbacks.
100%.
I think one example of something that you were saying, and a quarterback who didn't succeed in that environment with good wideouts, Eli Manning. He had Odell Beckham Jr., Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, and he had Victor Cruz.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, and Victor Cruz are anything to write home about. Those are all above average wideouts, and you had arguably the top 3 wideout on your team at the time. And Eli Manning did absolutely nothing. And he even had Saquon and Odell at one point and did nothing.
I blame the coaching more for that because we haven't had a good coach in a very long time.
You don't blame the passes? I think yes.
There's only so much you can do with the passes. Obviously, Eli's in throwing as well. But the reason offenses work with talent, you can have talent there and it won't work unless you have a good coach. Like Andy Reid has good talent and he creates great offense. Kyle Shanahan doesn't have that great receivers, not that great running backs, but he does stuff with it that just makes the offense.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
impressive.
A team that functions well. The 49ers are a real deal this year. Jimmy G looks good too.
I wanted to say they didn't. I was all ready to say they were like phonies, like pretenders. I think they're pretty legit.
Yeah, they're legit, but I think a pretender is the Bears.
The Bears aren't even a pretender. They're nothing this year.
But they were. They had the best. They were tied with the Patriots for the best record at one point. They were 8-1. I think they lost the last 2 or something. Yeah.
No, they don't have 8 wins.
Yeah.
No.
The
Bears have been very.
Bears.
Are you talking about last year or this year?
This year.
No. They've had a rough go because they have the great defense. I feel bad for the defense. It's just their offense. Their coaching.
Wow. I can't even believe what I just said.
What is it?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely terrible.
What is it?
They're 4-6.
Yeah,
and that makes perfect sense though, because everything I'm seeing is how terrible Mitch Trubisky is
and their coach.
Yeah, and their defense hasn't even put up the numbers that they once were. Like last year, they were much better, and I think they added some pieces this year on top of it. So I don't know what. They don't have an offense. You don't have an offense, you're not going to score points.
One thing I'll say too is though, the defense last year was incredible. A lot of teams could do very well with this defense they have now because it's still really good. And it's just the Bears are just wasting it. And I feel like the defense is worse this year because they're so tired of the offense being so horrible. And it's just deflating when you do stuff like that and you don't get rewarded for it.
Yeah, look, they lost. Okay, look at this, for example. They lose a game to the Rams. 17 points they give up to the Rams, one of the top scoring offenses in the league. Mm-hmm. Another game, Chargers, they give up 17 points, lose that one too. They give up 10 points to the Packers in game 1, lose that one too. Like
that's incredible.
The offense isn't picking up the slack. That's all it is.
And it hurts the defense.
Another thing I want to talk about NFL related, then I'm just going to move to the MLB quick. So I just read today Antonio Brown. I thought he was done this year.
Yeah.
Didn't think I'd be seeing his name at all. Supposedly issued an apology to the Patriots. He's meeting with the league to reconsider like everything that's happened, this whole debacle, so he could enter back into the league. And now they're saying that the Patriots are the front runners to re-sign him.
It's crazy. That'd be a huge pickup for the
That
Pats.
would be, yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that? I mean, because he hasn't played this season, really. He played 1 or 2 games, but...
The thing about him, too, is, though, a lot of people, when they're not playing for the season, they don't go through training camp. They don't go through that. Antonio Brown kind of went through it, and I think he has a lot of stuff going through his head that will, like, kind of hurt, like, his football mentality. but I feel like he is kind of just like ready to go.
And if anyone I feel is due and is like out to prove something, it would be that man.
Oh, yeah.
After being shunned by the whole NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me, he said some crazy stuff. He's like, I don't need the NFL. He's saying like they need me. Like nobody in life, everyone remember this, nobody needs you for anything. You know, always a replacement.
I have a question for you.
Let me hear it.
Do you think that hit by Vontaze Burfict to Antonio Brown is the reason why he's acting so crazy now? A lot of people have been saying that.
Really?
He had a really hard hit on Vontaze Burfict, and then he's just been out of his mind ever since.
When was that, though? Last season?
No, it was 2 seasons ago, maybe. I forget exactly what. It was late in the season. I think it was 2 seasons ago, and he got like a really bad concussion.
Yeah.
And Antonio Brown's probably taking some hits because he's a smaller receiver, quick guy, going for slants and stuff. He kind of gets hit hard, but that one was like really bad.
I didn't even know about. Honestly, maybe I didn't even think about that. That did not cross my mind, but that can make perfect sense.
Could you imagine? I'd feel terrible for him if that was the case.
If that was the case, yeah, and people were basically making a mockery of the guy.
Yeah, and he's just like, you can't like think straight.
You know what it is?
Then he shouldn't be playing football though.
Exactly. That's when, you know what, I feel like if that were the case, he would have at least someone in his camp saying like, listen, you got to get out of here. It's done. When your run is over, admit that's it. It's done. Same thing with SpongeBob. Come on, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, you're done.
Your run was over. And same thing with Antonio Brown if that was the case. We'll see. So the last thing I want to talk about for sports, I want to do a little.
Well, actually, if you want to go to one before we do our last thing, because I know we're finishing up with, we have a question. Do you think Melo is going to be a bust on Portland?
Oh, thank you so much for bringing that up because we actually forgot to speak about that.
Yeah.
So Melo's wearing 00.
I like the 00.
I'm
a
like
big 00 guy.
Yeah.
I think it's a great number. Melo rocking it. Less swag.
Really? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would, I'm expecting if I see 00, I could have seen like a Russell Westbrook wearing a 00. He's already 0, but like a 00, something crazy.
Someone who's just like
some quick little speed.
Damian Lillard.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. On the Trailblazers.
Damian Lillard would have been sick.
Yeah. So Melo stole his destined number. I don't honestly. I think he's gonna obviously he's gonna start off on the bench. I don't think he's gonna get much of a role.
No.
And I don't think he's going to do anything, to be honest. I think this is going to be another. I liked him. He was a Knick, and I wish the best to him. And I think it's a shame that like all his boys are still playing, like Chris Paul, the exception of Dwayne Wade, but like LeBron, all those guys. Like, but I think his time's passed. He's not fast anymore. His shot, nobody could afford for Carmelo Anthony shoot 30 shots a game like he did with the Knicks and hope he makes all. He gets 25 points a game. Yeah, he's shooting the ball 40, 50 times. He's not going to be the face of any team at this point, and I think he's got to accept that. So if he could come in and let's just say just be there for a playoff push, take some of the minutes away from some of the younger guys maybe during the regular season, a few big shots in the postseason, maybe he could build a career off of that. I don't know. If you look at one like Ray Allen, though, I'm not saying no, not at all. But I'm saying Ray Allen, like with the Heat towards the end of his career, where he would like literally just come in and be that corner spot guy, like. No. Melo's got a shot, so he's got a shot. I'm not gonna say he's a shooter like Ray Allen, obviously one of the probably arguably the best shooter ever, but maybe just someone to get some quick points off the bench, take them in, take them out.
You want to know my differences? And I've said this about a lot of things, a lot of different sports. And I think it is really important for whatever sport you're doing is the mentality. So Ray Allen was fine. He goes, all right, I'm getting older. My skills have deteriorated. Yeah, I'll be a team player. I'll hop on the bench. Melo goes, no, I won't sign with a team and go on the bench, even though I'm not doing well. I'm older. I don't have potential and that stuff. So Melo's just like,
you know why?
He's a bad influence.
You know why?
Why?
He's got that broad in his ear. Gaga, Lala. What's her name? His wife.
I don't think
she's hot. Yeah, she's Hollywood. She wants him to be a star player.
So?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about her.
I'm BSing. Her name is Lala or Gaga, though. I don't know what it is.
I think it's Lala.
Probably Lala. She probably didn't want to copy Lady Gaga.
The thing is, you get Mel too. When you get the veterans who used to be really good back in the day, they could be good influences for the team, help other guys out. He's not a good influence for anyone.
Not it.
He's terrible. If anything, I wouldn't want him talking to my young players.
think the Knicks was a perfect explanation of that. The entire time, the whole Knicks plan. I'm not blaming everything on Melo. Not at all. I would never do that because the Knicks front office is garbage.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But He was towards the tail. He had his best years with Denver. Everyone knows that. Okay. Came to the Knicks in the beginning, first 2-3 years. They were good. They made the playoffs, whatever. He was terrible after that. So as a player who's deteriorating on a garbage team, you got to be that veteran presence who's trying to like teach the youth on the team so that they could fill into your position in a few years.
Exactly.
He didn't think like that at all. He was more concerned with putting up 20 plus points a game on a team that won 10 games over the span of 82 games. Who's finding, there's no credentials in that. There's no, like, you know what I'm saying? It means nothing. It's valueless.
In my opinion, I saw him being the opposite way, where he wouldn't help them intentionally because he didn't want them taking his spot.
Well,
he
yeah,
didn't want to take him taking his spotlight.
No, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's why he keeps shooting the ball, though. He's not a team player by any means, and everyone who knows Carmelo Anthony has known that.
But the fact, I feel like this might be a sign that he's changing now because he's accepting a bench role and he's coming in with Portland.
Well, what was the deal when he was with the Rockets? He played for the Rockets for last season. I don't
for a little bit. I don't know. I think he was just not worth it.
But you know what I'm saying? That I feel like that's going to be a real similar role to what he's going to be in now.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit more because the Rockets are a better team, so they're a little more heavily staffed. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's going to get much time. But if he does, who knows? I wish Melo all the best. So the last thing for sports, this grinds our gears.
Yeah. As Yankee fans,
two die-hard Yankee fans, to hear this,
so mad. When it broke the news to me, I was so mad. I was like steaming for like a day. I was just like, I couldn't even talk to anyone.
And so we'll get into it. The Astros supposedly,
not supposedly, it happened. Go into it.
It happened. They had cameras in center field during the whole 2017 playoffs for every game they played at home. So they were basically picking up all signs for pitches, base stealing and whatnot, all that, and any other signs that they were giving that they could catch from center field. On top of it now, I'm hearing that they had vibrators installed within their batting gloves, which they actually have pictures of in their like documentary for the World Series they won in 2017. And they basically, it vibrated every time there was going to be an off-speed pitch. So every time something different was coming, he was coming with that old town funk, there was an indicator. So they knew every single time. And now if you look at the road splits versus the home splits,
oh my God,
they were terrible on the road. Absolutely terrible. I think the Yankees took every game from them in the ALCS at home, that the Yankees were at home, I'm saying. And then obviously when the Astros were home, they had their cheating scandal.
I was looking at stuff too. It was like, it would go from like 0.160 to like 0.3. And it's just like, what makes such a difference? Like, obviously it's harder to play in a different ballpark and being away, but that is way too big of a difference where that's two different hitters. You want to know something else I loved? I liked how you mentioned that documentary, because that documentary literally has all the evidence of everything they have cheating.
Yeah.
I saw
all their celebration.
Dude, so funny. Like that's going to be the thing that shows everyone. Like I saw one, it's like, it showed that the screen they were using, the garbage can they would bang on for off-speed pitches and stuff too, because they'd bang as well. They'd bang on it when there was a changeup or anything. There was like a cable going down. It's like, what did you need a cable for? It was like in the dugout. So the documentary,
and you know
like
what the problem is now? Because you got to expect. So they're not maintaining all 50 plus players that they have on that team, right? On that roster. As soon as one player goes, what's to say that if they go to another American League team, they won't say, listen, Astros known for putting cameras in center field when they're home. Go with a two sign signal. You know what I'm saying?
That's what happened to the guy. Told the MLB.
Who do they have a specific name or no?
Yes. I think it was, I want to say Mike Fears.
Really?
On the A's. He snitched on the whole thing. He said, yeah, the Astros would take
and they also got pinched for that whole pine tar thing where what was his name? Garrett Cole and all of them were throwing at least like 5 to 6 miles per hour faster on their fastball when they were home.
I don't think they got pinched for that. Apparently that's still like Trevor Bauer said something, but that's still like that. But now,
how many controversies could you have? You know what I'm saying?
Another controversy. Yankees stated this year that the Astros were whistling pitches. They were whistling on pitches. Like they'd have whistles. And everyone's like, oh, Yankees being babies. This comes out. All this stuff they have. I don't trust the Houston Astros for anything. They cheated to beat us. We would have went to the World Series, would have beat the Dodgers in 2017. That is ridiculous.
They got too arrogant. They got too arrogant because they got too good too quick. If you just like the Astros just became good within the last 5-6
They've
years.
never been good. They're
They
not
were
good anymore.
garbage.
They're not good now. In my eyes, they're not good. There's nothing good about this team. They're cheaters. That is disgusting, the stuff they did in a professional sport to take advantage over other professional sports. I want to win so bad, but I would never.
It's like steroids almost. It just takes away from the value of the game. You know what I'm saying?
At worst, because steroids, you would still need skill.
That's true.
The Astros didn't need skill. If you give any player, if you can let them know
what pitch is coming, even you and I could step up to the plate with a little bit of baseball experience and get a hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know what's coming. You could.
I mean, I'm not hitting anything from the MLB. But
irregardless, you get what I'm saying.
Maybe if I knew it was a changeup and then it's a changeup.
So what do you think? Where do you think the MLB goes from here now?
You know, I think they go from here. The Astros took our World Series title in 2017. But you know what the MLB should do?
But you know what? We could argue that, but then also the Dodgers could argue that they got screwed.
I know, I'm joking. Nothing with us, but as a Yankee fan.
But they used it to get past us too, is my point.
Dodgers,
so it's really their whole playoff run. I feel like you can't do it, obviously, but it should be negated.
No, the thing is,
I don't think
they can strip that title from the Astros. They have the power.
No World Series winner then for 2017.
No
is that what it would be?
Yeah, it'd be like in other sports where you see it playing. Yeah. The MLB said themselves that they're gonna have a punishment that's no one's ever seen the likes of this punishment before. I think the only punishment you can do, first off, you fine everyone involved. Second off, strip the World Series title. They didn't earn it.
I think that would be the biggest thing they could do. I think either stripping the title or I would have to hear something like if they find out, let's just say the owner was sending down these orders. I don't know what happened. If that were the case, I would make the owner sell the team. Let's just say it's the coach. Has to be removed. He has to resign from his role as the head coach of the Houston Astros, and he's probably never going to find a job again in baseball.
Why don't we just disband the whole team and then say, sorry, Houston?
Yeah, honestly, you could, because when you think about it, though, let's just say they do prove that they had those things in their batting gloves. They obviously were aware that they had it in their batting gloves.
Every single person.
They're going along with it, so you're at fault, too.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to talk about that too much more, but that was just disgusting. And I hope that justice does get served, because
I hope they get stripped. I genuinely want their title to get stripped so bad, because they do, in a way, they took away titles from all the other teams that they played.
What's to say they haven't been doing that?
Yeah. What's the chance all the teams that they beat couldn't have beat the other team after the Astros? Let's say the Yankees could have beat the Dodgers.
But honestly, it's whoever's coming out of the AL has been, with the exception of this year.
I loved how the Nationals beat them
I like that
year.
too.
They beat the cheaters.
They didn't. Everyone thought whoever was coming out of the AL was going to take it, and then the Nationals shut everyone up. I'm not a Nationals fan, like I said. I'm a Yankee fan, but you got to respect it. You got to respect that they came in there and they took care of business.
I didn't like the Nationals at all, but now
I like them because they don't have Bryce Harper, to be honest. I was so glad they made the World Series after Bryce Harper made a big stink about getting out of there because he wasn't winning. They went to the World Series literally the immediate year after.
Yeah. Such a bad look for Bryce.
Terrible.
And his team didn't even make the playoffs. And then one thing I don't like about the Nationals, though, I do love Max Scherzer, one of my favorite players. I do not like Patrick Corbin one bit, only because he didn't come to the Yankees. But
I can't argue with that. I'm bitter about anyone who's not coming to the Yankees.
Yeah, I'm bitter
about
anyone.
A lot of, I'm bitter about anyone not coming to New York, and that's so many players. The list could literally, I could probably travel around the earth 2 times.
You want to know what I'm bitter about? That the Yankees keep getting snubbed from awards. Let me go through
Manager of the year?
Starting Manager of the Year this year, Aaron Boone obviously should have won it. He had over 100 wins. So many injuries. Yeah. I think it was the most ever.
It was the most. They made the most. They had the most different players on their roster for any team in the history during a season.
And then they're still do as well as they do. It's just disgraceful that. And it'd be one thing if the Rays manager did it because they have such a low payroll.
Yeah,
and he did that. But the Twins manager?
That's Baldelli, right?
Baldelli. What? How do you even pick Baldelli? Where does this come from? What did he do? That was so. I
absolutely nothing. Because if you look at it, their pitching was atrocious. So if you want to judge a manager, there's 2 things you could judge him. There's a few things, but
there's a lot of things.
Yeah, of course. But so pitching, obviously, how they handle their pitchers, which he did horrifically. Then hitting, you can't control.
Yeah.
Which was the only reason why they won as many games as they did, and they had the run differential that they had was because they led the league in home runs.
Mm-hmm.
and probably defensive orientation, like how you're setting them up with shifts and whatnot. So I don't think he had anything to do with that. Aaron Boone, the amount of pitching changes that man would make throughout the course of a 9-inning game, I don't know. I think he did a great job.
Let me name the other 2 awards, and then we should wrap it up. 2017 Aaron Judge, MVP, and 2018 Rookie of the Year should have been Andujar.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 110%. And now they're saying they might get rid of Andujar.
Yeah,
So,
I know. Later.
Saved it. So guys, thanks for tuning in this week. We appreciate it. Continue to tune in. We're gonna be back next Tuesday, 6 to 7, and that's gonna be our Thanksgiving special. We're gonna have a Thanksgiving special, Matt. Maybe we'll bring in some turkey, some stuffing. I don't know. We're gonna get crazy with it. All right. Well, see you guys next week. Be good.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Also, we've been saying, we've been saying 6 to 7. It's been like